Okay. Okay. So let's just start from the beginning, I guess. So everybody wants to know why Team Sheesh quit playing ALGS, and pretty much that's yeah. So um, what happened was pretty much I'll just give you my perspective. Nice Wig messaged us, and he was like, hey guys, I pretty much can't play. It was straight up simple. He said he could not play. He says that he was going through personal things with his family, and that like he wasn't able to compete. And I was like, okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. Like, I respect that. I hope everything's okay with his family. I'm not gonna go prior into his life because it's none of my business. But I just hoped everything was okay for him. And I said that if he ever needs anything, you can always let me know. Obviously. And the same thing. A Prize said the exact same thing. We were both caring, and etc. etc. A Prize then there from then messaged me and said, "Hey, Timmy, do you want to find a sub?" Um, Actually, no, he didn't message me. I actually asked him. I said, "Yo, Prize, do you want to find a sub, or do you mind just calling it or skipping, right? Skipping the week, right?" And he said, "I'm down for whatever." He said, "I don't really mind." He didn't actually say he wanted to play, right? When communicating to us, he just said, "I'm down for whatever," right? So if I don't want to play, then I don't want to. He doesn't want to play. If um, from there, and it actually he got more information about the whole not playing for a week, and he came back to us and he was like, okay, he's like, hey guys, if we don't play this week 4, we're actually unable to play forever, right? Like, we cannot play ALGS, the next week 5 or week 6 together, and we cannot play the rest of the season because the organizers said Team Sheesh will be pretty much unable to compete. That's pretty much what they said. If we don't play week 4 with me and a Prize and a sub, then we can't play at all, right? So then I messaged him and I said, okay, uh, I'm actually busy on that day. I can't play, right? But I can't, like, if you want to play, right? We can figure it out and we can find a sub. But I told him I personally would not want to play with a sub because of one reason, right? Jack never said when he's gonna come back, right? Jack could have been gone for 1 week, 2 days, a month, right? I have no idea, you know? So if we got a sub for that 4th week, we might have, had to get a sub for the week 5, week 6, right? Like, we didn't want to play with the sub, you know what I mean? And I think that's fair to think that, like, um, it would kind of be really fucked up. Like, think about it, chat. Let's say we play with the sub for 3 weeks, and then we qualify for the majors, and then we're like, all right, Jack is actually gonna come back in now. Um, and then it's kind of just like, oh, like, it kind of feels bad for the sub, but like, also, I also don't want to play 3 weeks worth of and commit that long, you know what I mean, with a sub too, you know what I mean? It's just like the overall, like, playing with a sub, it just kind of fucking sucks, you know what I mean? So then you're gonna ask, like, okay, then why couldn't a Prize play with like a sub with you, Tim, like, without you? He couldn't, he has to play. Team Sheesh has to play with at least 2 members from the original roster. So then there's that. Okay. Then you're gonna be like, okay, so, like, Timmy, why don't you ask him? And I did ask him. I said, hey, like, I said, hey, I'm gonna be busy on that day. I legitimately, like, I technically can't play, but I said, if you want to play, I could, like, we can figure it out. I said that, you know what I mean? And pretty much we all agreed as a 3 that we would stop. That is pretty much it. We all agreed and we're like, okay, let's just not play, and You know, we can't. You know, it's that's it. And then we'll compete later, again in the future. You know, later, um, he actually DM'd me. Well, I DM'd him and I said like, yo, so like, cause all the hate and stuff like that, we got a lot of hate. I said, yo, like my bad prize, you know, like et cetera, et cetera. And then from there it was pretty much like, you know, I was like, I felt bad, you know, like if you really wanted to play, you know, like I could have played and I feel bad. Um, you know, and he said like it was okay, you know, like he did want to play, but like at the end, you know, Jack had to do his own thing. I had to do my own thing. He said he didn't really mind not playing as well, you know what I mean? And he didn't want to like force us to, you know, you know, he didn't want to force us, you know, to play if we were busy with other things. So he decided it's like okay. Um, but you know, it's like and then you're gonna say like why commit to be to something just to be busy one week. So mm, some things are just very important, right? And you like Jack, right? Like Jack had to leave, right? That's life. Like he having family problems, like he did not expect that. Like you cannot be mad at Jack for taking care of his family. People are being idiot. Some people are like, oh, like this person, like this guy wouldn't skip a race for, like, sure, you're telling me if his mom was fucking dying, all right, these professional athletes like soccer, football, basketball, car racing, like wouldn't go see like your family always comes first, you know what I mean? um and that's understandable. So like whatever Jack was going through, you know, like you can't be mad at Jack, you know what I mean? You actually can't. You could technically be mad at me, but you know, I also just, yeah, what I did was, you could be considered selfish, but I had something that was very important. You know, I had multiple things actually, not just like obviously on that one day I had something very important, but in general that week I had a lot of things like just important, and it was just unfortunate timing. And I did say, right, like if it really mattered, if it was like so important, right, like I needed to reschedule, I needed to fucking fly my ass back home just to go play, like sure, I could have done that. But I mean, it was just like it, with Jack not being able to play as well, it was also just like, you know, like I didn't want to play, I guess. I just didn't, you know what I mean? Like I was busy with my own stuff, you know what I mean? Like shit, you know? And like sure, you could say like why commit to something like this? Like I mean, yeah, like it's what, 3 hours? Yeah, legitimately 3 hours every single week. You know, like I I I did the last three, you know what I mean? Like so people will kind of be like, oh, like why did you do the 54-hour stream? Like the 54-hour stream wasn't the reason why I couldn't do that, you know what I mean? Like, and just because I could do a 54-hour stream like a couple days before, right? Like that doesn't necessarily mean I have time on that day exactly, you know? You know, that specific day and at that time, I was just busy, you know? And it's just understandable. And at the end, right? Like it should be okay because what we do with our team placement shouldn't necessarily matter about like it really shouldn't matter because that's like a whole different topic, right? A whole different topic, right? Us taking somebody's spot is just complete stupid bullshit. I literally just like those people are just actually just so dumb if they believe that, right? And I said it before. TSM, NRG, Cloud9, fucking Complexity, all these pro organizations, they all got free invites to play into this tournament, okay? They got a free bypass based off previous placements in other tournaments and also just because they're an orgs and, you know, that's just how it is, right? We didn't get a free invite. We did not. We didn't take anyone's spot, all right? We earned our spot just as well as someone else's, okay? And we all went into this tournament thinking we'd go to the LAN and we go sorry, not LAN anymore, my bad. Um we go for this $3 million tournament and, you know, win. That's what we thought, you know, and that was the whole goal of playing this tournament. We've played tournaments in the past, all right? We've competed together in the past, and it wasn't just like, oh, we just decided to do it just for fun and this is our first tournament. No, like we've competed in like what, maybe 6 tournaments together in the past. So overall, we were trying to win, all right? We didn't expect us to quit midway, and even if we did quit midway, it shouldn't really matter because, like I said, we had to play multiple qualifiers. I think we played 4 qualifiers. Actually, no, we only played 3 because we missed the first one. Yeah, we missed the first qualifier, chat. We missed the first qualifier. We played only 3. All right, and we still managed to get more points than people who played all 4. All right, there's no excuse. All right, those people just could not qualify, and we earned our spot. We legitimately qualified based off 3 qualifiers out of 4. And it's not like, oh, like if you didn't play in one, then like your points are like, you know, like balanced. No, it's not how that works. It's based off just overall total. Like we earned our spot, and just because we like technically threw it away or, you know, quit, like that literally has nothing to do with, in my opinion, like another team that couldn't play, right? And then people are now saying like, oh, well, you know, you have streaming, right? And you can earn money outside of this competitive. But some people, it's their entire life to, you know, like this is like life earning, like life changing money, right? You know? And I'll be honest, right? Like I'm not being toxic. If they couldn't qualify, what realistic standards do you think that they would have been able to win the tournament? The $3 million, right? Like legitimately, like what, they would have just got lucky? No, like no, they wouldn't. They actually wouldn't, right? If they legitimately couldn't qualify, like shit, you know what I mean? Like Apex is not a game where you just get lucky. Okay, you think TSM getting top 5 in every tournament is just because they're lucky? No, it's because they're fucking great. They're great at the game. They're good, you know. And I mean, just like I don't know. I don't. I think it's really dumb for people to say some of the things they do. You know, like it's actually just like they can't look at the overall picture, right? Like I'm not that stubborn of a person, right? Like I'm understanding. If somebody can give me some logic behind what they say rather than just being like, "Oh, this is this," right? Then sure. You know, I could be like, "All right, I understand your point, right? And you're right, you know? I'm wrong a lot of times, right? And you know, I mean, I admit it, right? But if you don't, like some people just say like, "Oh, this, do the," you know, like you know, like, oh, you're a quitter. Is it's like, oh, okay. Like some people just, you kind of just like say that, but you don't really understand the situation, you know? You're kind of easy, you're like, most people are just down to jump on the bandwagon, or some people just hate you so much to the point where they find like one small thing, and then they're like, oh, like see, like you know, like, and then they go so far, like they go so far to like trying to like cancel you in a way, you know, like the whole cancel culture shit. Like that's so stupid. I genuinely believe cancel culture is actually so dumb as well, right? Like somebody shouldn't be canceled for one wrong thing they did in their entire life, because we've all done wrong things in our entire life, right? Nobody's fucking perfect, you know. As long as somebody's willing to change, right? Like it's different, right? Like everything is different, everything's situational, right? You know, like if someone did something 5 years ago, shit, you know, like they've probably changed. You know what I mean? Maybe they haven't. Maybe they haven't. But, you know, at least give them the chance to see if they have changed. But some people can just cancel you for shit that you did 5 years ago. That obviously depends on what it is, right? You know, it's all, you know, like I said, it all depends. But there's some small shit that legitimately people get canceled for something so stupid. And that is also like a lot of reason, in my opinion, like right now, a lot of like people are just like, oh, like dude, there's so much shit about like me especially, of the three for Team Sheesh, like the amount of shit I've like got messages, received, Reddit thread, all that stuff. Like it's mainly about me. Could be some about Wig, obviously, but it's mainly about me. And it's just like some people are like, I don't know, some people just they just don't like me that much to the point where they just are jumping on that bandwagon. They're like, like, oh, we got him. We finally got him. Fucking something wrong with him. Let me try to cancel him. You know, and then there's some people who maybe are just don't know and uneducated. I also, to be fair, it's also my fault. I worded my tweet wrong. I didn't say that like Jack can't play. We can't play on week 4. They're disqualified, or they're technically DQing us completely, and we're unable to play the rest of the weeks. I should have said that, but I just said, oh, we're not competing anymore. I kind of made it like just short because I was busy, but I mean that's just, I worded wrong. That's my fault. You know, I didn't go in full explanation in a tweet, and maybe I should have made a tweet longer, you know. But yeah, overall, I mean, I don't mind chat. Like I really like things don't really bother me. Like at the end, right? Like all this stuff, like it doesn't bother me. Like it really doesn't, right? I respond to people because I want them to understand, like how I think, and like what overall what the reasoning is. Like right now, like I legitimately could like not care. Like if somebody said like I hate you for the rest of your life because you quit ALGS, I would not care. And it's not because like I mean it's just like it's just stupid in my opinion. Like even if it like even if it wasn't stupid, right? Like it was like a somewhat sort of a like big deal, like I mean fuck, I got canceled, or I almost got canceled by XUC when his fucking frogs came to me during Rust, right? Like that bothered me, but like not as much. You know what I mean? Like I just don't care about this type of stuff as much, and like I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much why Team Sheesh doesn't compete anymore, and yeah, that's overall what happened. I'm sorry for my juicer. No, it's okay. We're good now. Me and him are friends.